at your release.
Welcome. The mic drop, Voltaire.
Hi and hello, everyone.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
We decided to have a guest today. Rhea decided to join us to talk about some good entertainment news. There's been a lot of stuff coming out lately. Been pretty happy. She just saw Sonic 3.
Yes.
Really great. I do want to see that. What movies were you? I know you're a busy lady, Rhea. How many movies have you been able to see recently? You saw Sonic 3. Did you get to? You're not seeing Nosferatu yet, right? You want to see that?
Right. I think it comes out to the general audience on Christmas Day. I'll probably see it the following week.
Okay, cool. Any other movie you get to see recently?
Yeah. Surprisingly, I went to go see Venom 3. Just super randomly. I was with my friend and we were like trying to kill time, and we were just like, yeah, let's go see a movie.
And you loved it?
Venom 3. I actually didn't think it was as bad as folks were making it out to be. It was just a fun popcorn flick, you know. I would say it's a streamer for sure.
Sure. I actually saw it with my wife, and I did not like it. I don't like the Venom voice. I think it's Tom.
I've never liked the Venom voice. How did your wife feel about it?
She's thought it was all right. I don't like I think it's like, it's not funny to me, the Venom voice. I know it's supposed to be intentional and funny and like weird. It's not scary and it's not funny. Like I don't think it's supposed to be scary. It's just it doesn't land for me. But I'm really looking forward to Sonic. It's really good to be a Sonic fan right now, especially with Switch 2 and the Sonic Racing, which I think is a launch game. I think you're not. I actually wanted to talk about this with you in a different time, Rhea, but I was going to ask you what your predictions are of launch Switch games. And I think Sonic Racing is taking the place of Mario Kart. I don't think Mario Kart's ready. And I think they'll have some Nintendo stuff in Sonic Racing, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to dive into there. So, but anyway, movie news.
Yeah, movie news. We got a great one. Our good pal Donovan Barton in the chat. That rumor is BS. It doesn't matter what rumor I bring up, Donovan. You're always going to say it's BS. You love rumors too. You love to shoot them down. I tell everyone, you all love rumors. There's just different camps. You like to say never. That's never possible. That's never going to happen. Well, what does the title of the stream say? Never say never.
Well, also, we discuss, you verify.
Yes.
I like that.
I'm the rumor fact checker. This comes from James Gunn, the man himself, Donovan, that he considered it and that he might like to do it. And he's talked about it. You know, even I remember there was a lot of discussion like a couple years ago when James Gunn first became the president of DC, and people like, oh, DC and Marvel will never cross over. And he said, he verified, I've talked about it with higher ups. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. That means if James Gunn finds a way to do it, do you think he's not going to pull the trigger on that? Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's going to figure it out. So and that Never Say Never, that was an old James Bond movie with Sean Connery, right? They said Sean Connery's never going to come back. And he did too. It's this Hollywood. This is for entertainment. Stranger things have happened. Now, shout out to CJH, who's been carrying this mantle that he wants Matt Reeves in James Gunn's DC Studios version, and I didn't tell him no, that won't happen. I just said it's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen, but it's actually seeming more and more likely. And we're going to react to the In Snyder on the hot mic, the competing mic show on YouTube, but they all have all the sources. We don't have the sources, Voltaire, that they do.
That's what people think, but we do have sources.
Oh, you do have sources.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Donovan says Jeff is now pushing that Gunn is actively wanting it, but Reeves saying no, and it's beneficial that he's concerned, but he's respecting Reeves. Well, something that's changed, Donovan, since the beginning when James Gunn first met with all the creatives when he announced his slate, is now we have the Clayface movie, the success of the Penguin season 1. They're talking about season 2 and what Warner Brothers can offer Matt Reeves. It seems like James Gunn is open, even Matt Reeves being even more of a creative partner in his universe. And that might be the thing that says Matt Reeves will be like, okay, you don't understand what that will do for this man. That will make him as powerful as like a J.J. Abrams, as a James Gunn. If he says, okay, and think about the announcement of, actually you're getting the mainline Batman into your universe with that mainline Superman. That is a game changer. That would be talk about a mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts? If they do that, if they actually say, okay, we're actually going to do it. We're going to bring Pattinson in, and then we're going to get to the audio clip. This is just a rumor. I'm not telling anyone to believe it. Oh, how do you say his name? Adias Aubrey. I've seen you before. I follow you on X. Thank God it's just a rumor. You're not on board with that. You don't want it to happen. You want a different Batman? Okay. Donovan also says they should say separate, but just think about the hype of that moment. I'll get to you, Ray, first, and then we'll go to Voltaire. Of them saying, James Gunn saying, okay, brings on Matt Reeves. We've decided to do it, everyone. We're bringing Pattinson in. He's going to be interacting with Corn Sweat Superman in DC Studios universe. Would that be, how big would that be if they did that?
I might be thinking of this like it might be apples to oranges for most folks, but I was thinking of it in terms of like Filoni and Favreau, kind of like two creative folks in leadership roles almost, or like kind of assumed leadership roles versus like actual leadership roles. But my point is that I kind of liken it to that. It's a creative partnership, and I'm sure they have some either characters or some storylines that maybe in the future they'd like to intertwine outside of the mainline content that they already have, like in works, or scripts for that they would like to enter into production. So I'm thinking this is like more of a long-term, wait and see sort of thing, where let's have this discussion as we see like there's some momentum in our current projects, and depending on where the umbrella company WBD ultimately lands, then that's the determining factor. But at least let's have this conversation now. So I think that's where it's at.
Sure. Voltaire, what's your thoughts? This is a rumor, but we do have James Gunn going on the record saying, yes, I've thought about it. He didn't dismiss it. And knowing Warner Brothers, this is actually what they wanted Nolan to do. So there's a history of Warner Brothers executives and the people at the top wanting them to do it because it makes money. Really, it's an easy sell to the audience. Now, I wasn't on board either. I understand people that say they want to keep it separate. I get that. But what are your thoughts on the opportunity? If you're in charge, if Voltaire's in charge of Warner Brothers, is this something that you would strongly consider? Do you see a good opportunity for press and financials and to bring DC up to another level? What do you think? What's your thoughts, Voltaire?
So this comment by James Gunn has changed my worldview as to how he's handling DC, because my theory had always been He wants all projects started before he took over to be over, and then he's going to pop a bottle of champagne and say it's all mine, including the Matt Reeves Batman series. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think the success of the Penguin
Yes.
might have changed his mind.
And the Clayface announcement came right after that. That was a rumor and got greenlit fast.
Right. And
That
again,
makes me.
yeah. I'm speculating. I wasn't at a cocktail party with James Gunn. I didn't hear him say this or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like he's like, oh, people like what he's doing and maybe we're getting along. So maybe we'll start working together. And I think it's just better. My thought was we're going to finish these Batman movies. And then James Gunn is introducing his Batman into the DC universe down the road when these movies are done. But if they can bring him in quicker, I think it's a superior way to go.
It's the easiest sell to the audience, even though there's people that love the universe. Like there was people at the time that didn't want Christopher Reeves, and what's his name, the actor that played Christian Bale, as Batman to interact with the other universe. They wanted to keep it separate, but there. It's an easy sell to the general audiences. There's not two versions of Batman that works in the comics. That's a hard sell to the audience. But let's react to the hot mic, the competing mic show on YouTube.
So before you do that, on this channel,
yes,
on this very channel, Max, before we get to that, people were speculating that there was going to be a separate Batman, the Matt Reeves Batman, and there was going to be a separate James Gunn Batman, which I thought just sounded like a disaster in the making. So they're not doing that now. I think that.
Well, we don't know.
I don't think they'll ever do that because
I think the people, even though James Gunn has creative control, I think the people at the top that actually say, okay, green light, go. Because he still, yes, James Gunn has the authority, but he still has to go present this to someone. They've always had a hard time having two different Batmen, and
ridiculous. I think James Gunn is getting a ton of rope. I think they're letting him cook, but whatever. That's all speculation.
All right. So I didn't watch this ahead of time, but this is how I found out about this.
That's how we like to do things. We don't watch ahead of time.
Yeah, so we can react. Yes.
It's Yeehaw Man.
What's that?
I like to call him Yeehaw Man.
Oh yeah, because he wears the cowboy hat. Roka.
Yeah.
I'd like to. I was on his show once. I would like to try to get on again. I like Roka. All right, so let's see if there's some tea spilled here. We're not going to watch a lot of this, but Jeff Snyder, see what he's hearing. Will Matt Reeves influence more of DC's direction?
In the world, and it's going to be a DCU film. It is not going to be like an else.
Oh, wait, let me get to the.
Anything more on the Clayface movie? Gunn was talking about it a little more. He's saying it's in the.
And this is why I think it's worthy of discussion for Donovan, because that Clayface is a game changer. The reason is not only that it's getting made, that means Matt Reeves' contract may be expanding at DC. But also because they said it is within James Gunn's universe. And that's where you're like, wait, what? That's the real clue there. If there's anything, this is expert speculation, everyone. I'm not telling you what to believe. But if there's any clue to this, it's that the Clayface movie was talked about, fast-tracked right away after the success of the Penguin season 1. And then it's not in Matt Reeves' universe necessarily solely. It's within James Gunn's universe. That's where you're like, wait, what? And that also makes you kind of question Muschietti's Batman the Brave and the Bold, because wouldn't he get an opportunity to do Clayface in the James Gunn's sandbox? Voltaire, what do you think about that? Isn't that interesting? I'm not shading Muschietti because he's got his own success. That Welcome to Derry show, I'm looking forward to that. Ray, are you looking forward to that? Welcome to Derry, the It show?
Oh, I forgot that that's a thing.
Yeah.
And then the It actor that I really, really like, Skarsgård.
Yeah.
What is it?
Bill Skarsgård, I think.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, so he's got his own successes there. But Voltaire, what's your thoughts on this? Really examine the Clayface project announcement. It came out quick, fast tracked after the success, and then they went on the record to say this isn't within James Gunn's universe, not just Matt Reeves, what he's doing.
Again, read the tea leaves, everybody.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that this happened after the Penguin's success, right? Like a derivative character, like the Penguin, the show's success. And Clayface? They're making a Clayface project? Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, yes, it can't be ignored.
That was weird. There's something in the room.
There you go.
That was like Blair Witch type thing. What are you picking up, AI camera? Huh. That was really creepy. Usually it like goes down or something. I wasn't waving my arms because it tracks my hands like the Kinect. And all of a sudden it's just like, what? I'm getting creeped out. All right.
You okay?
So, yeah, I'm fine. This is all on a live stream. So
is this a Bob Cratchit type of situation or Ebenezer Scrooge type of thing?
I'm no Scrooge.
Okay.
You think they need to visit me?
I don't know what ghosts might visit you, Max.
I don't know what ghosts visit. Okay. Well, please get the thumbs up there to help the mic drop become a successful show. And we'd like to have guests, so we're happy to have Rhea tonight. Thumbs up for Rhea. Let's see how many, give 25 likes because we have Rhea as a guest. Come on, everyone. And I think I fixed your mic, Rhea. I went into the settings and put it up because when there was other issues, I put your mic down when we were doing a stream before. So it's up now. I think it's okay. Let us know if this sounds good for me, Voltaire and Rhea. If yes, she did.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's hear the rest of this here.
DCU, it is not outside of the DCU, so
right.
It seems like official now, not through sources. This is him saying it, so it seems like that is what the deal is going to be. Are you surprised by that? It makes all the sense in the world.
Sorry, what? I got
the Clayface.
Real professional, Jeff. What?
The Clayface is going to be in the world. It's going to be a DCU film. It is not going to be like an Elseworlds or an other type of universe. It's actually going to be in the DCU. And do you buy the rumors? I saw Campy talking about it as well. Do you think Matt Reeves is going to be even more a part of the DC decision-making process, or is he going to be
Jeff's cooking
out?
there? You see his Facebook
Campy is saying that it seems like Reeves is going to be a bigger part.
This is entertainment.
I'm not sure if Grace
he's
said one way or the other. What do you think? What are you hearing about this?
All right. Okay.
Ooh, what can you say?
This is what he does.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to think about what to say. I mean,
what to say? That means there's something. I'm an expert scooper translator to the audience. That means there's something, or he's putting on a show. Either way, probably both at the same time. Okay, what can I say here? That means there's something going on. Stop following my ghost or the ghost in here. Okay.
I like that theory though that you mentioned. Like if I wanted to seem like I had some piping hot tea on the back burner that I'm keeping for myself, I'd be like, oh well, I would love to share what's going on, but I got to start doing this. I was told I can't share it, but please just keep in mind that we're in the early stages, but things
without really saying
yes,
right.
Things are definitely cooking, but you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, are we getting some? Are we figuring out how to do this later on? Like, oh, what can I say here?
How much? Well, I guess if you're an insider and you know something, you're not allowed to say.
I actually don't think Jeff's that much of an insider.
I feel like part of that is an act. I gotta be.
I like a lot of the stuff he says is stuff that I just predict too, and he's just reading the news coming out. Honestly, I do think he gets some inside scoops, but he just all right, let's see what he actually says here. Let's drop this. Let's spill the tea.
Well, you have to also add sources say in front of whatever else you.
Yeah, sources say this.
You
claim
that you don't remember.
Grains of salt. Yeah. Okay, let me see. There's a lot of people that just do not like Scooper, but I consistently say it helps the industry. It can help the industry. There's some scoops that are like targeted to try to affect people's box office, and
we
people
love
don't like that
on this channel, and we cover scoopers.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I wanted to put that qualifying statement as well because I love rumors and speculation and strong opinions. That's what makes this show so fun. So
Mm.
I'm just being satirical,
Oh, come on, Rhea. If there's a Switch scoop, you're like, ooh, you gobble it up, or if there's a game, you're right. You want to know about it.
True, but there's just an inundation of
yeah.
of that. Movie talk is a little bit more fun because I'm like more outside looking in, so it's like more
Yeah.
engaging. With Switch, I'm just like so plugged in that I'm just like I need to take a break and come up for air.
Yeah. Okay.
With the exception of Mike Zero, we love scoopers.
Yeah, Mike Zero just puts two. I honestly think Mike Zero. No, I will tell you what Mike Zero does. He just puts two SEO keywords together. That is the most searched for, and then he makes some BS to put them together.
Mic drop, everybody. Mic drop.
Yeah, I honestly think that's what he does. Gets two trending keywords. Brie Larson and Star Wars. Okay, so I heard Brie Larson and Star Wars is happening. Yeah,
sources say.
Yeah.
Well, no, we kind of have like a little sample size of that happening with your most recent short with the unicorn movie that we watched the trailer for, Max. Like, I think Kooky Surprise was the eye catcher for that.
You actually said that. I rewatched it and you said a kooky. That's where it picked it up. The AI kicked up. Did you know you said that, Rhea?
Yes, I was trying to think of like some weird words to say out loud, but I'm so glad they caught it.
The AI picked it up. Okay.
How to say it?
Yeah, basically. That's why
You ask me all the time. I got to ask you the right questions. I'm trying to.
No, like that's why I write. So you can sort your thoughts and see what am I actually saying before I say something and give some fucking soundbite. I mean, I've heard there's definitely something going on between these guys. Now, granted, the delay.
There's definitely something going on.
I love how he insulates
That's
basically
what I said, but he doesn't know it. He doesn't know anything.
I appreciate it though. Like you kind of have to be able to like keep it going, like the charade. so he's very on the top of it.
The effort to the grift. That's what it is.
Yes, love a good grift. Love it.
Yeah, but he still hasn't. He's basically in the same boat we are right now. He's like, there's something going on. That's what I said. Yes, he doesn't have any source for that. There's something going on. It's because it's in the DCU.
Yeah, no, and then
let me just say one thing, like as a general statement. When I became an adult, I started to realize that there's a lot of adults out there that talk with a lot of confidence about something, like they know what they're talking about, when they really know nothing, but they have no problem talking with a lot of confidence. That's this fella, in my experience.
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of experience with that too. Yes, it's the entertainment factor as well. So one thing I was going to say too, the best way to tell a lie is to insulate it with some truth. So let's say like he's reporting on an alleged scoop or something that he heard from alleged sources. You kind of have to, lead in with, oh, I know what we all heard about this, rumor going on about Robert Pattinson and James Gunn and Matt Reeves talking about potentially working together. And yeah, I just want to say, sources are telling me like
something's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to,
and then you're not wrong. Something is going wrong. Something's happening. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I've been studying the grift for a few years, so
okay.
I can't do the kind of insight you get on the mic drop, everybody.
I'm just too honest. I can't do it. I'm like, I think this is happening. I don't have any. I used to say I'm my own source. I've heard this from myself, from my own mind. This is where this came from. That's what I used to. That's what I did when my Kathy Kennedy fired and Ryan Johnson trilogy speculation videos back in the day. I said, I have a source and it's myself. That the Ryan Johnson trilogy is not happening. That's what I did because I already knew about Mike Zero and that.
Well,
I'm not gonna tell you I talked to someone else. It's me. I'm the source.
It was correct. That source was accurate.
Okay.
Sources are saying that there is little to no interest in the Ryan Johnson trilogy, and the source is UMax.
No,
you're the sample size. Sample size of one, but it's still a sample size.
it wasn't that there was no interest. It was like, I smell BS here. I think this is because when JJ, okay, I'll give you a little details of where I came to this conclusion, where they said JJ, they had to bring him back. They got rid of Colin Trevorrow, but the reason, and I thought this was a perfect marketing. This is perfect Kathy Kennedy, perfect Hollywood. It's a Kathy Kennedy story, Voltaire. The reason, because the natural thing was be like, if you're so, because they at the same time they were giving press, we are so happy with what Rian Johnson has done with The Last Jedi, that we're not changing it all. We're just going to release it. And since Colin Trevorrow fell out, why don't you get him back for 9 if it was so good? Well, he's too busy. He's too busy developing the Lives Out trilogy. And I said, that's BS. It's not that he's too busy. It's something else. And I said, I don't believe this. And honestly, he was not busy developing a trilogy. Too busy develop. He was not too, regardless if you think the Rian Johnson trilogy was going to happen or not, he was not too busy in it developing the trilogy to go and do 9. That was a PR statement. But it got people into the seats, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we can't get Ryan after Colin dropped out. And then they dragged back and got JJ.
Well, look, we're on the. This week was the anniversary of TLJ. We'll get to that. We should have a segment.
I actually like it more now that I've seen The Rise of Skywalker, because I did not like The Rise of Skywalker.
All right, you're a battered woman. You're like,
no. I
You have
appreciate
Stockholm syndrome.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sorry,
okay.
that's a better way to phrase it, Rhea.
Thank you for correcting him, Rhea. We don't nothing about being a woman, Voltaire. It's being a
battered spouse.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome is superior.
We're under duress of Kathy and Lucasfilm. Yes. All right. Let's see what he says here.
Is because of something else entirely. It's because of a personal thing that I'm not going to get into.
You mean the Batman Part 2?
Yes.
Yes. We've talked about that offline. Yes.
So what am I trying to say here?
They're both supporting each other's grift. Like, oh yes. I know we discussed it offline, you know, and I understand what you're saying. We can't share that on air.
In the DCU.
He does. You think that?
I think so.
So that's not off a source. He just says, I think. A lot of this is not actual sources. He just says, I think. That whole buildup was just like, I think he wants them. And you know why he said that? Because he heard James Gunn say on an interview with like the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, they said, are you open to the did you think about it? He said, yeah. That's where Jeff's getting this. He doesn't have any extra. He could have extra. I'm going to leave that out there, that disclaimer. He could, but he just says, I think.
The
balls on this guy, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, it's that veil of legitimacy, like similar to what Voltaire was saying. Like, if you speak with such confidence, even if it's just air fluff, like, you know, a bunch of big words or just like white noise that, you know, it like fires up the crowd, like just based off of how you're speaking, then that builds you know, confidence in other folks to listen to you because you're confident in what you're saying. So it's more how you deliver it as opposed to what you're actually saying.
He's very entertaining.
This is everybody who works in the corporate world. This is your jackass boss who keeps getting promotions because he talks a good game.
He talks a good game, right? He's a talker. You're right. I agree with that. Okay.
These are our decision makers, y'all.
Yes.
Just letting you know.
Yes.
I think that Reeves is resistant to that.
Ooh, interesting.
And
look at John.
Max, I want you to act that way when I make a point. I want you to say that.
I'm calling you out, bro, because I love John. But man, and he's an actor too. I think he was an actor. Used to work at Harry Potter and Universal and did some other stuff before he went to Collider. So I appreciate that. But ooh, interesting. Everyone knows Matt. It's not a revelation, John. Everyone knows that Matt Reeves was at least resistant very at the beginning to, and it's actually because, and why do people know this, John Broca? Because it's in his contract. He actually pulled the contract that says I could do that he signed before James. He has a contract predating James Gunn. So even if James Gunn wants it to happen, Matt Reeves, this has at least been reported on, that Matt Reeves has his own contract that predates James Gunn that says he could do certain things with his series, you know. So, ooh, interesting. This is
Max,
Yeah.
everybody likes to say I'm a shill, and I just agree with you. I'm going to adopt that. Ooh, interesting, Max. I'm going to start doing that.
okay.
Yeah,
This-
this is just so entertaining because you're just picking up on all the like signs of yes, let's lead in with something legitimate that's true that everyone already
Common
knows.
knowledge.
Yes, and let's build that foundation of trust with them, and then get into the installation of like, oh, I think, oh, sources say like, oh yeah, we talked about that backstage.
Yeah. All right. So there's nothing. There's actually this is very entertaining, but there's nothing new here. But I still think it's possible. I still
Hang
think
on,
it's
everybody.
possible.
Watch for the new show on this channel. Ooh, interesting. Upcoming.
Ooh, interesting. That's the segment. Ooh, interesting. And then Donovan will still have an issue with it. I love you, Donovan. I'm not picking on you. I love people that get so mad at scoops. Like, no, it's not. I'm not telling you to believe it. Ooh, interesting, Voltaire.
That's a good name for a show. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all in the audience cannot get mad when there are qualifying statements, as in I heard, I think, and there's question marks involved. See, so no one is accountable to anything that they're saying.
Well, what's funny about YouTubing in general is people think we're all like there was a debate before, which I love everyone involved, but like I'm not a reporter. I'm a commentator. I'm a reactor, and I'm an entertainer. I'm not doing all this. Like people like bring this up. I'm like, I don't want. I know it's a rumor. I'm not doing all this. If you want to do all that, okay. But I'm like, I'm just reacting to the rumor. Just like I always said, the show is like if you were hanging out at my house, and I'd say, hey Rhea, did you hear they might want to bring Pattinson into? That's all it is. That's as simple as it is. We would probably talk about that in real life. Voltaire the same. Like if we're hanging out or I'm calling you on the phone, did you hear this? What do you think? Right? I'm not claiming to be
we're at the bar having a few drinks and talking.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah. I think that's what people miss. They think everyone has to have this certain standard as like Pulitzer Prize winning journalists. I'm not claiming to be that.
Well, here's the qualifier. Like I like to say, you're a citizen journalist. So kind of like a vigilante journalist. You're just out in the world,
journalist.
Yes, yes, exactly. So you kind of have to figure out how to spin it, okay. I'm in a field where I do this, so I understand how it works.
Okay.
And we're protecting the people from the nonsense.
And these look, they are great at their job here. I also really likes the way Grace does it. Time to spill the tea. That's so good.
No. Hang on. Grace is more legit than Rocha. I think so. I think so right here on the mic drop.
I think so too. And a lot of our fellow movie panelists, they like to give her a lot of they like to dog on her, and so does James Gunn, which is fine. But she honestly was not wrong, even about the Middle East conflict stuff in Superman. There is some scene in there.
Yeah,
she might have been wrong about how much it was involved.
I mean, do we know that that's a scene? It's a brown boy holding up a flag. I mean, does that mean it's Middle East?
We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure yet. But I do think that James Gunn would dismiss it because it's not the main storyline. You know what I mean?
Well, there's one thing that I did read. I think it was on X that there's this fictional country in universe called Bavaria. And that there's a clue because there's a flag of this country there. So I don't know geographically where it's placed, if it is in the Middle East, Mediterranean, or into Northern Africa. I'm not sure, but yeah, I did want to kind of put that out there.
Sure. And then the other thing that he liked to James, I love James. He just has his personal preferences is to throw doubt on people scooping because it's his work. He doesn't want to get it out there. But she speculated that it was going to be this the 16th for the trailer drop. And he's like, false. And it was like the 18th. It was like a couple days off. I'm like, she probably heard when the press is getting it or something, And she's like pulling her hair out. Yeah. Did it to me again, and all those little go to him and try to debunk my stuff, but it's like a few days off.
That's an example of not good James Gunn debunking stuff.
Yeah.
I like when
Right.
he debunks stuff, but not that. Like 2 days off. Like
Yes, like, oh wow, she was 2
Yeah.
days off.
Right.
She wasn't complete L on there. Okay,
It
so
might
let's.
have been a mindful decision, like, oh, she's reporting the 16th. Well, I'm gonna do the 18th.
Well, she said she
yeah,
thinks
that's what I mean.
she said she made the accusation. She thinks he changes things on people's reporting. No, we're not going to do it that day. Then false. And he honestly has the control to do that too.
And
He
I
seems to not
love
like
Grace.
Yeah.
I love Grace. I'm Team Grace for sure. All day.
Oh, I
every
I'm
like
day.
Team Grace too, Rhea. I think that people attack her too much.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if they says anything else here except opinion. There's no see that the premise of the show is that you have insight, but he's really just said, I think. I'm on to you, Jeff Steiner.
May be that okay, if we do that,
Yeah.
I need a certain amount of control about the way that this character and the other characters
He's just speculating here.
interact with him,
Right.
behave. So in that sense, like, is he going to take greater control? I think that he has like oversight of Batman, and it doesn't make sense to just have him have his own oversight and do his own thing with Batman, and then have a second Batman in the DCU. It just doesn't make sense.
These are all this common knowledge.
Have the same
points.
Batman, and if
This is everything Voltaire said at the
if
beginning.
he still wants
Yeah,
to
pause it for 1
control
second,
it and be
please.
part of it, then I think James has to let.
Yeah.
So this is a guy in an undershirt and a hoodie, open zipper.
Oh, you
just
have
acting like
you have
he's talking
criticisms?
about. No, I look. I'm not criticizing how he looks. I don't like to criticize appearance.
You want him to be in a suit delivering scoops in a suit?
No, but
Well, that's how
he's
you would do it,
talking
Voltaire.
Like he knows, like he's been inside of rooms. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the way he's talking.
Yeah.
There's no reason to believe this gentleman has been inside of these rooms, and he's not
He
even
hasn't said
telling you
that.
he's been inside of these rooms. Everybody.
The only thing it's alluding that to is his X handle there, right there. But he hasn't said I heard or anything. He's just like something's going on.
Yeah.
That's how he started it.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of assumed though, right? Because he works in the comic book industry. Like, you know, there are overlapping folks who are contributors on this project who also work in the comic book industry. So I think that's alluding to the fact where, again, he's trying to, you know, insulate some type of legitimacy by saying he's in that network of folks who talk and work on these projects.
I do believe he has some sources for sure. Yeah, but
He
like
never says he has sources though.
But every
He just
topic
speaks
he
with
says
authority.
sometimes. No, he speaks with authority. You're right. And that's part of the thing. He just has confidence in what he's saying in his speculation. But a lot of this show is just not there's not like a lot of inside stuff in here. It's just like speculation.
Right.
Okay, let's see if I don't know how much more we want to cover because they basically said everything we said.
I'm really enjoying this though, but I'm not
Okay.
good. Okay. It's your call, boss. You know?
No, that's fine.
Well, we haven't caught them in a lie once though.
No, they're not lying.
They're not liars. They've been 100% truthful
Yeah,
this
Matt,
entire time.
They're very good at what they do.
My favorite part was Roca going, "Oh, interesting."
I want a new show called "Oh, Interesting." I really do.
Okay.
He was talking this week with Zoe Kravitz on Variety with the directors on directors. And he did
They do know their
confirm
stuff,
also that there are ongoing conversations about the Penguin season 2, Jeff.
Yes.
He said, we're talking to showrunner Lauren LaFranc about doing another season. That was a special experience. I just feel really fortunate. These characters don't belong to me. They belong to the world. It comes down to whether you can approach them in a way that expresses something personal. So he might not just be talking about himself. He might be talking about, you know, what James might have to say about this situation, how James is approaching his Batman. And I mean, you look at what we got in that James Gunn Superman trailer. Where do you see Robert Pattinson's Batman fitting into that world? So it could be interesting, right? Maybe Gotham and Metropolis are two completely different things and two completely different takes. But when they come together, how are you going to have them work in each other's universes? That's an interesting question.
Again, I think that, and we wrote a column on this before, that like James Gunn, just like we knew when he was installed as DC head that he was going to end up doing Superman himself. Even when he was like, no, I'm Pat should direct. We don't know who's going to direct this movie. We knew he was going to fucking direct this movie.
Well,
that was I called BS on James Gunn on that. I'm like, come on. Come on.
That's a solid point.
Yeah, everyone knew. Like James loves to do that, but you know what? It got him a lot of press. You know, he likes to BS a little bit. He doesn't necessarily lie either, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I have to do the there's no scoop here.
These guys have ego.
Right.
You think that James Gunn is still going to want to be the guy who puts Superman and Batman together successfully on the big screen for the first time in a world's finest movie. I could see that being his follow up to Superman, unless he just doesn't, unless he does Superman.
Okay, now I'm going one step further than Roca and Snyder in saying there's another clue here, another piece to the puzzle that might give some credence to Jeff's comment there about if this happens, that James Gunn wants to put them together in a movie, Batman and Superman, world's finest. The other thing that was going to be a live action movie that's now probably more being rumored to be pushed to the animated side is The Authority. So if this does work out and James does do that, there's another piece there of something shifting to another different form of media for animation. So that opens up another live action feature film.
Interesting.
So that's something to consider too. There's been rumors that The Authority is now being switched from live action to animated.
I mean, totally possible. With Clayface
is the clue. That's what I said.
Yeah.
We're getting a message here. Hold on.
Oh no, he didn't do that. No, he didn't do that. All right, now I have to. I'm not. I don't want to be too harsh on people, but if you do that, that is a very manipulative tactic. It's possible.
You got to start doing that now.
I've got to say it's possible that he's just getting a text in, but this just in. I'm getting a text. It could be his mother saying, "Are you coming over for Christmas?" Because that could be I could do this on my stream when I get a message.
That could be his girlfriend saying, "Are you bringing home dinner tonight?"
Yeah, it could be my wife. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, I'm getting a message.
I kind of love that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, you're not lying. You're not lying. You did get a message.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
I gotta start doing that for everyone sending me messages during this. Hold on a second. Whoa, and then come back. I don't know what I could say. I don't know what I could say because in honesty, it's like my wife's like, go to bed. But it's like, I don't know what I could say about this message I just received. Yes, I should start doing that.
With Clayface, we have a decent theory.
See, he didn't even address the text message. I caught you, Jeff. He didn't even address the text message.
You're supposed to connect the dots, saying like, okay, he got this message, and right after that, he says, "I have an interesting theory." Is that what he said?
He said, he just starts going to the Clayface.
Oh, okay.
He's like, hold on, I got a text. And Clayface, going back to the previous, he didn't say, "Oh, this is about the text I just got" or anything like that. Okay,
it's just that.
Yeah. Okay.
With Clayface. Who would they trust that to? And right, if it's not Gunn himself and it's not going to be Flanagan, which for all I know, it could be either one of them. But if it's not one of those two guys, who could it be?
Who just did Nosferatu?
Eggers. Having seen Nosferatu last night, I don't think so.
It's in my top 3 of the year.
Jeff, you just broke Ray's heart.
Here's an idea.
Okay.
They're really high on, everybody's high on Zach Kreger, right?
Right, for weapons and what have you. Yes,
right, exactly.
Barbarian. Right.
But there's the other movie that he produced with Jack Quaid called Companion. Okay, that guy, Drew Hancock, New Line.
Oh,
right? It's a New Line movie.
I apologize,
I could see them giving
Ray. I
him...
think I'm calling it. He's not really saying anything here.
No,
I was thinking that we were getting messages from the text. Like I thought, oh, here, nothing. All right, well. Jeff Snyder, John Roca, I'm on to you. I still love you. I still support the show. I'm still subscribed. I would like to collab again. But this was very entertaining acting that I saw. Great job.
Is that what you call jumping on a call-in live stream, a collab?
Yeah. That's what I did. That's what I did with David Jaffe recently. That was my recent collab. I jumped on his live stream. I talked to him in a message today too. I will share this, and then maybe we'll talk about Voltaire and Reyes' thoughts on the Superman trailer as well.
I would love to talk about that.
But I was watching David Jaffe on his replay, his live stream. He's the creator of Twisted Metal and God of War, the original God of War. I love that game. I love the original Twisted Metal series. And he's like, yeah, you want to know what car I'm riding? I roll in. It's a beat down Toyota that looks like it's got a replacement tire and everything. And he's like, and I was like, I am disappointed in you, Jaffe. That's the creator of Twisted Metal, and you got a Toyota. I said, at least put some modifications on it, some weapons or something. It's like the most beat up used car. And he's like, I will keep rolling with that. So I respect that though, for sure. But I also have questions for him on a potential interview. I'm like, okay, why are you on YouTube now and things like that? Like, I appreciate that he's on YouTube, but he's out of the game industry. He's a family man, and he's a full-time YouTuber now. It's interesting, but he's rocking a used Toyota. It looks like it still has a cassette player in there. Would you expect that from the creator of God of War and Twisted Metal?
I mean, sorry.
Go ahead, Voltaire. Would you expect, like, maybe video games aren't as, like, those are some big IPs.
I mean, he's doing it. What do you mean?
Like, maybe he just wants to. Maybe just wants to. Yeah.
It's like part of his image type of thing.
It's not like a muscle car with a turd on it or anything. That's his image.
I was actually going to say that I was thinking outside the box, and I was just like, if I was, a millionaire, I wouldn't be spending all my money on fancy cars and like houses and stuff. I would be investing, I would be like, I would have things cooking, like, where you can't see it, because that's where I want to,
I'm not shaming him by any means.
Continue to grow my wealth, so I can live in like, a basic middle class, neighborhood and home and drive a basic car that gets me to where I need to go, because I know that I'm set, doing something else that y'all can't see.
Sure. If I'm going to keep it real, when I make my millions here on YouTube, I'm going to be in this basement still.
Yes,
it's not
smart.
I love what Reyes said. It's not about making millions. It's about how you spend the money that you have, how you invest the money that you have. If I thought there was any kind of like interest in creating a show about something like that, I would totally do it. Like, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Oh, Scooter Crunch, $9.99. Golly gee, Mr. Max. I'm so happy Miss Rhea is on. It's late for me, but mommy thinks I'm asleep. I really love the Superman trailer. Yes.
There you go.
Thank you, Scooter Crunch. As always, say hi to mom. I haven't messaged her in a little bit, but I'll be calling her to talk about the Superman trailer. I swear.
I mean, the kid's on a paper route. He's using his paper route money to super.
And I will take it. I will take it, Scooter. Go deliver some more papers, because Max needs to make it on YouTube. Yes, I will take it. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. More next time. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Okay. So Scooter Crunch is the GOAT. Yes. And if you would be, I don't know if we're going to get to it tonight, but
you didn't scan any voicemail. You didn't put the voicemail number.
I was looking for that. They changed StreamYard again around again. Hold on. Let me see if I could find the number. Oh God. Joe put too many weird stuff in here. I can't find it. Where's the ticker? Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong brand. That's why.
Yeah, Scooter Crunch is a good kid. He's a good kid. I hope he's not on the East Coast, because it'd be awfully late for him to be up. I'd like to think that Scooter Crunch is on the West Coast, so it's not so late.
Did someone?
Well, Scooter would be on winter break, right, from school. So maybe there's some, flexibility and how late he can stay up.
Wonderful. Yeah. There you go. That's it.
Oh no, I can't find the number.
Well, it's 412-501-3346.
Oh, hold on. Let me make a new ticker. Someone deleted it. Okay.
That's the marquee, right?
Mic drop hotline number. What is it again? 412.
501-3356.
Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we're back in business.
We love your voicemails, everybody. You know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Super Jeff.
He called me Mr. Max. Yes.
He's a good kid. He's a young fella. We're trying to guide him into manhood here. Me and Max, we're trying. Ray, just so you know, Scooter, he's a regular caller into this show, and we're trying to help him out. You know, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. I saw Scooter in the chat a few times. He's a great asset to the community and supporter of Movies, Madness, and Entertainment and the Hot Mic.
Absolutely.
Or sorry, the mic drop.
The mic drop.
Absolutely. And
right,
other shows on this channel. He just loves the channel.
Now, what was the last time we had a rumor about Black Cat? Unfortunately, there's some negativity. I'm not going to comment on the negativity, but negativity going on. What's that actress's name from Anyone But You or something? And she was in Madam Web. What's the actress's name that's very popular?
I love Anya Taylor-Joy, though.
Yes,
she
so
has such a screen presence.
Anya Taylor-Joy is being rumored to be in Spider-Man 4, joining Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, source Daniel RPK, Sydney Sweeney. Sweeney. Yes, Sydney Sweeney. No. And unfortunately, some paparazzi took some pictures of her at the pool. And then some people were like, oh, she's not as fly as or hot as I thought she was. I'm like, that's not cool.
Let me say, can I let me have the floor for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, forget about her level of attractiveness. She has a screen presence. Now, she took over that Mad Max movie. She doesn't seem like a tough girl. She doesn't seem like she should have been right for the role, but she did it because she has an amazing screen presence.
Yeah.
This actress, is something special. I had the opportunity to see a screening of Nosferatu. Nosferatu is a very good movie. I recommend everybody go see it. But Anya Taylor-Joy was supposed to be in it, but she's not. But as good as the movie was, with her, it would have been better. She has an amazing presence, everybody. Okay? It's not about being hot. It's not about being... It's just some people have
and I don't like that commentary either. I'm sorry I was bringing it up, but that she was rumored to be Black Cat before Anya Taylor-Joy.
Perfect for that. She'd be perfect.
And my issues with Sydney Sweeney is I just don't think she's a great actress, but she's very likable though. She's very likable. She's
very busty, and people like her.
No, but
she's not as good an actress as Anya Taylor-Joy. She doesn't have the screen.
I think Anya Taylor-Joy would fit better in. So if we're gonna go, these are all rumors. You don't have to believe them, but honestly, I think you'd be going good with either Anya Taylor-Joy or Sydney Sweeney. But honestly, Sydney Sweeney was already in a Sony movie, and I do think Anya is more experienced actress at the very least.
I don't think Anya should work with Sony Spider-Man because it's been a disaster, and I don't want her to sully her reputation with them. Quite honestly.
Okay. Do you think this is a plausible rumor? Do you think Anya would do this? She does probably want another franchise.
No. What did that actress say when she thought that the Madam Web movie was supposed to be a Marvel movie, but it was actually a Sony Spider-Man movie?
Oh, that was Dakota Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. Anya Taylor-Joy's management is not going to be that silly.
Well, this isn't the Sony verse. This is Spider-Man 4. This is associated with Marvel.
Okay. Well, okay. Here we go. That might work. I mean, look, she's wonderful, but I think even her, she couldn't save a Sony movie. But if it's a Marvel Disney,
this is talking. This is if this is true, this would be Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, probably Charlie Cox from Daredevil. You're gonna have Kingpin in it. Okay. If you have Kingpin in Spider-Man 4, which is probably going to happen, that would be a good time to bring in Black Cat. That would be a good time. As far as I know, I don't have the comic experts on the panel now. I know me and Ray know a little bit. I know you know a little bit, Voltaire. but I
Mhm.
believe in storylines with Kingpin, Black Cat's also in there.
So if anybody if you saw the Mad Max movie she did, you should trust her skills as an actress. She can do
Mhm.
anything. That's my opinion. So yeah,
I think she's great. I have been a little bit underwhelmed with some of her performances, though. Furiosa was great. Furiosa was great, but I don't know. I mean, she had a very small part in Dune, and some other things I've seen.
Where's your critique of her performances? I'm going to call you out, Max. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. I need to watch more Anya Taylor-Joy. Nosferatu, she's in that, right? So
no, she was supposed to be, but
she
she
was
had
supposed to
scheduling
be in it.
conflicts. So
Okay.
Johnny Depp's daughter did it instead. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So fine. That's fair enough. As far I do need to watch some more roles that she's been in for sure. I did like her New Mutants. I actually really liked New Mutants.
She was only a good part of New Mutants.
Yeah. Oh, look, Cheeseman says, "Don't disrespect the Queen." Okay. Well,
I think she is a queen. I think she's the number one, lady female actress out there nowadays.
Okay. Well, let's see what the peep comment section is saying on X. We need her as Magic. I like this. Perfect. Didn't you say it was Dove Cameron last time? Daniel LPK, they're lying about you again. Someone says not as good as Sydney Sweeney. That could work. Okay. Well, I think it's a possibility. I would put this at 25%. My speculation on this rumor. I think it's possible.
I don't need to throw shade on Sydney Sweeney. She's a fine actress. I just think that Anya.
Last Night in Soho. Is that a horror movie too?
No, it's not a horror movie at all.
Oh, okay. I thought that was. Maybe I was thinking of something else she was in that's like that. Okay.
Probably my favorite performances of hers. Definitely Furiosa. Then The Queen's Gambit. It was a series on Netflix. And let me see. There was a third one I just missed. The Northman. Yeah, that was just, top tier. That movie is just chef's kiss overall. But yeah, she definitely, held her own in that too.
She was great in The Northman. And the director of The Northman wanted her in Nosferatu, but there are scheduling conflicts, so they put Johnny Depp's daughter in it. So still good, but not as good as it would have been with her, quite honestly.
All right, sure.
One thing I did want to also mention, now that I think about this this casting discussion, with Anya, I don't imagine her as this sort of manipulative sort of sex pot, sort of using her sexuality to manipulate people, as much as I may align that more to what Sydney Sweeney is capable of doing, because of the somewhat of something that kind of typecasts her in a way, but still that can play to her strengths. So that would be why I would probably advocate for Sydney as opposed to Anya. But yeah, that's just me.
Okay. Cool. Interesting take there. Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man 4 for sure. The reason I love it is that it's very likely that Daredevil is going to be in it.
Do you like Tom Holland that much?
He's not my favorite Spider-Man, but I like him, and honestly, he's a perfect Spider-Man for collaborating with other superheroes. Like, he's a perfect Spider-Man to collaborate with MCU characters and then have them kind of take over the show a little bit. Because if you had Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, I really want just the Spider-Man story with some of their, especially Andrew Garfield. I loved him as Peter Parker, and I wanted that series to continue. And if he's just overshadowed by a bunch of other superheroes in his own movie, I would get more annoyed than I would with Tom Holland. No offense.
So let me ask you both a question. When you watch that Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, did you feel like he was the weakest of the three when you watched that movie?
Tom Holland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still love him. I mean, he's a nice person, but I got to be real.
Reaction, right? Yeah. Like when I first saw Tom Holland as Spider-Man, like, oh, he's a cool high school Spider-Man.
that's why it's perfect. He's the perfect Spider-Man to do that storyline in, because you're bringing in other Spider-Man. You're like, thank God. I mean, not that he's horrible, but thank God Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are here. And that moment with Andrew Garfield when he catches on Zendaya and she's not Mary Jane. What's she called? She's just MJ.
Yeah.
And it was such a beautiful moment because you know what happened with Gwen Stacy in his movie. So that was such a beautiful moment in that movie. So, but if they make Spider-Man 4 and Kingpin, I think this would be a good fit. But I put 25% because it's unlikely, because she's got so many opportunities right now. It's really up to her. If she wants to do it, she'll do it. But
and just as a side note, everybody, for a really good Andrew Garfield movie, Under the Silver Lake, check it out, everybody.
okay,
Little
something.
independent film.
Oh, that's a good suggestion. Thank you, Voltaire. Something else to add to this before we get to the next topic, and we'll only go like 25 more minutes. Keep you guys. I don't want to keep you guys all night. But something else to keep in mind is Zendaya has been on the record, or there was not on the record, but there's been reports that she's not going to be in the next Spider-Man movie much. So that makes me think that there is an opportunity for a character like Black Cat.
Is that right? I didn't know.
That's the reports that she's not going to be in it too much. I think she might be busy with another project. It might even be Dune or something. I don't know. The third Dune
Spider-Man
movie
needs a romantic lead, and it's either going to be Gwen Stacy or Black Cat.
And honestly, if you don't introduce another
Jane
character in the fourth movie, I don't think it's going to happen with Tom Holland. Like if they besides MJ. So. All right, so
she might be very expensive now, right? Zendaya's
that's true too.
Property.
It's probably cheaper to only have her make an appearance. Can we talk about girl bosses?
I love girl bosses.
Since we have a girl boss on,
Ray the girl boss.
This is a positive girl boss topic though, because when you hear girl boss now, it's always put in a negative light.
Wah, 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 wah.
But wasn't Lois always a girl boss? And I think that's a good thing. How do we know
she's going to be a girl boss in this movie?
The way she interacts with Clark in the newsroom.
She's 2 years older than David Cornsweet?
Well, I like what Clark said. This Lois will girl boss, gatekeep, and gaslight this Clark so hard. And that's...
What indication? I'm sorry, everybody. We've seen.
Are you taking it? I think that's part of. I think that is part of Lois's character a little bit, though, in a good way. But then she also really cares for Clark too. But I don't know. I don't always think girl boss in a negative angle.
Rhea, have you seen anything to make you think that Lois is going to be a girl boss in this new movie?
Not in particular. I think she's probably, if not like management, then middle management. Like middle management is like probably the worst place you could possibly be. It's basically purgatory. So I would imagine that, no pun intended, that Clark is under her.
Yes, she's a seniority reporter. Yes. She is literally a girl boss. She is his boss as the report.
She's always been that way. Oh, I see.
Yes. No, I'm not. Yeah, I know you.
Well, my intention of saying middle management is that, she's frustrated. She's stressed out. Like she has a lot on her shoulders. So that'll like probably characterize how she approaches, situations with a no nonsense, business-minded attitude to, and very like, cut to the chase type of, character too. At least that's how I would imagine it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of get the vibe from Clark Quill that he kind of wants the girl boss him around. But that there is a little bit of that with the character between Lois and Clark, and then she's like fawning over Superman. There's a lot of versions where she that happens, but then she's like, oh, she's enamored by Superman when he appears.
So the original Superman movies I grew up on, she was always kind of like the more senior reporter, and Clark was like a clown walking around.
Margot Kidder. Kidder.
All right.
She kind of like
told
Clark what to do a little bit. She was the senior reporter there too,
Yeah, Max, did you see the tweet I quote?
I'll move
tweeted
on
you
from the
in?
girl boss topic.
No, don't
Well-
move on. Don't move on. I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Did you see the quote tweet I quoted you? I from EVS.
Oh, I
No,
didn't
no.
know if I wanted to talk about that.
I
Okay, we
think
can
need
comment
to
on it real
talk
quick.
about it. Well, I think we need to.
Okay, I will say this. Okay, so what EVS said, I'm not planning on bringing him on again or anything.
No, but bring up the
what
tweet.
okay. But
because we don't shy away from these topics on Mic Drop. We might not
Okay.
agree with the opinions, but we won't just silence them. Let's talk
Okay.
about them.
a criticism of
One thing I
When we-
did want to just
Sure.
really quickly before we show this new content, there was an interesting quote that y'all reminded me of Lois from Man of Steel. I'm not a lady, I'm a journalist. And that
Okay.
that I still kind of keep that in my mind as far as like, you know,
I love that.
I like
one.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think of this like, you know, she's not a girl boss, she's a manager, she's a leader, and yeah, I know
Maybe
this
she's
is like
somebody
meant
doing
to
their
trigger
job.
people. Yeah, it's just, you know, I
Well,
I kind of
maybe I'm
frame it a different
presenting
way.
maybe I'm presenting it incorrectly, Ray. Like I kind of think a girl boss sort of is like a positive, like just like that stuff. Yeah, I'm a journalist. I'm not a lady. You know, treat me as such. I think that's a positive type of girl boss mentality.
Oh yeah, context definitely matters. I agree
Yes.
with you. Anyway,
So that's
carry
what
on.
I would that's
but
what I
what-
was alluding to when I brought up girl boss as a positive thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah,
what does this comment mean?
he
that
doesn't
you
take
dropped?
crap from anybody. you
She's
know?
gonna girl boss. She's gonna gatekeep and gaslight Clark Kent so hard. Like these are not positive. things.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I can appreciate the alliteration for sure.
Yeah, okay, it's good for that. Yeah, that's true. But like gaslighting people is not a good thing. You know.
No. That's true. That's true. I'm trying to find it, Voltaire. I can't find it. Can you bring it up
Okay,
here?
I'll find it. Hang on.
Because I can't find the actual quote. But I don't like. Listen, I don't want to comment on people's relationships and age unless there's something not cool there. But it's alluding to Lois's age, and I'm like, okay, she might be
Well,
slightly
that's
older.
part of it. Yes.
Yeah,
that's
I
part of
don't.
it. But there was some other
She's a woman.
comments. he
Sorry.
made. I apologize. Let me find it here.
Boss woman then, instead of girl boss. We know, Anthony. I don't know what. She's a very, very beautiful woman. Also very intelligent too. I like the way she handles herself on the press tour for sure. I think she's an asset to DC for sure. The way she handles all aspects of her career, which I ultimately respect. I think that's a lost art is people want to not do good on the press tour. All right. Did you have it, Voltaire?
Not quite. Yeah, hang on a second here. I'll find it.
Because I retweet so much that I can't find it.
Okay. Here we go. Let me share my screen so that
Or if you just want to put in the private chat and I'll pull it up. Oh, you got it.
however you want to do it.
Okay. I think I dislike the trailer. I watched it 3 or 4 times and I think I dislike it. James Gunn stopped listening to Tom King. So he has an extreme bias against another comic book creator, just to call that out, because Tom King still works at DC and I don't think they get along well. It's clear that he's influencing you creatively and you must not let him. This version of Superman we're being presented here is miserable. People are bouncing soup cans off his head. He's bleeding in the snow. He never smiles once in the trailer. He needs therapy. There are 4 or 5 shots with him sucking face with Lois, who's clearly his mommy wife. It's indulgent. 1 kiss would be plenty for the entire film. This is not Kal-El. And then I don't want to comment on the other thing because he's no, I don't like.
Yeah,
what he's
that's
doing
personal.
Yeah,
I
so
want to
don't
talk
personal
about
attack.
let's talk about the things that you know what I mean, that are not, So the Superman we saw, his point is valid. It's not a happy Superman that we saw in that trailer, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh, he's being tested for sure at the beginning of the trailer. Yeah, he's being tested. But then the happiness comes when his good pal Crypto comes to save the day.
So that was just as a side note, that Crypto part.
Yeah.
This is going to make this movie $1 billion movie.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I think so too. I underestimated the Crypto being a factor. It's really going to make it's next level for DC, something that DC's been missing for a while. Even though I know Rhea is a big fan of the Snyderverse and everything that came before. We're actually really we're holding up the Black Adam torch for the JSA and Hawkman and the rest coming back, but it's not going to happen. But something that's always been missing from DC is the merchandising opportunities for all ages, and that just happens with Crypto. You know.
So I showed the trailer to some people in the office, and I use this as a test, like to see normies who are not like us. Okay, you know what I mean? They're just normies, if you will. I say, "Hey guys, there's a new Superman trailer." They're like, "Really?" I go, "Come watch it." They watched it, and the consensus was the best part was Crypto.
Yeah.
Okay, Crypto pulling him away. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I need help. Crypto. He pulls. This movie's going to be $1 billion movie. There's no question in my mind.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. I said after I was watching interviews with James, and he said the pets are some of my favorite characters. I said, you know how James Gunn said at first he wasn't going to do Superman? I think he changed his mind just so he could bring Crypto to the big screen. I mean, this is the man that admitted after 3 movies of Guardians of the Galaxy that it's Rocket's story, you know. And if you look at Guardians 3, it's very focused on Rocket. I really do think he does some of these just to bring these characters he really loves Crypto.
He loves fuzzy characters and he loves cute characters. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I don't know, them kissing. That's a beautiful thing that I always really enjoyed. His criticism there. It seems odd. The criticisms, one peck here or there, like
Yeah.
I didn't think
his mommy would. Go ahead.
Not to derail, but I don't know if y'all have been following Creature Commandos, but it's really good. It's been getting progressively good as it's establishing each character's backstory or origin story or whatever. So yes, to y'all's point, like he has a knack for getting the audience to care about these anti-hero characters for like, you know, whatever reason. So, which I'm assuming the other superheroes in this movie are kind of, you know, contracted out and maybe not, you know, 100% altruistic. So yeah, I do want to kind of like, you know, give him props for that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what.
So one of the other criticisms he has is that Lois Lane looks too old to be his girlfriend.
I don't like that. I think
I don't know why he had.
Well, here we're not getting to the negativity here. This is a positive show, but
no, we're going to address this.
No, but I also want to talk about certain characters like Intergalactic, for example. That trailer is amazing. In people's narrow view of beauty standards have changed.
I hate that. Yeah.
Lots of different people find lots of different things attractive, and I don't like to pigeonhole people, relationships, or things. It also on age. There's nothing wrong with a slightly older woman or any. I'm not here to judge at all. Who cares if Lois is older than Clark in the story? I don't care about that at all.
Right.
At all. So things have changed. Get out of your narrow view of the world. There's a lot more diverse people out there with lots of different personalities, different types of relationships, and that's all cool. You know, so I don't like that talking point at all. That might be a little bit older than Clark. Who cares? Yes, he's worked at the Daily Planet longer, so that actually makes sense, right?
Right. And that part of his criticism is invalid.
Yes,
100% in my mind, anyway, personally. But like his part about Superman's not happy, and should Superman be happy and hopeful? Is that part of Superman?
Yes, that's definitely part of Superman. But the thing is that James Gunn said because he doesn't want another origin story, they're going right into the action. So he's going to be tested right. And that was the hook. You have to have a hook. Like if you just see a bright, cheery Superman always smiling and just the typical thing, what's going to be the hook to get you there with so many different versions of Superman? So I completely disagree with his tweet. Like you have to have a hook now to get the audience back into Superman in the big screen. This isn't a comic book. There's difference. It's a mainstream big box office movie. You have to have a hook because you're also competing with other versions of Superman, which the fans love to do. My Superman version, that's not my Superman. This is my, constant. You have that. It hooked you right away with that. Oh, what's going on with Superman? That's the point of the trailer, is that he's battered at the beginning and that he gets hit with it. There's something going on that's not the everyday Superman. There's something that's going to test him. And that's what's going to hook you into seeing it in the theater, is like, oh, I need to see what's happening with Superman. So yes, it's not the normal day thing you see with Superman. So
I will say that like the criticism around like, oh, he needs therapy. I can get on board with that for sure. Yeah, especially if I'm inferring that he has this like existential crisis arc that he has to navigate and pull through to the end. So yeah, I can respect that.
Okay, for sure.
Let's put up my screen one more time, please,
okay,
if you would. Okay, so here we have Cavill.
Well, this is naturally going to happen. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you feel about the costume?
It grown on me. I didn't like it at first, but seeing it in action, he looks good. He has a really good curl.
You feel about the bagginess of the costume, like it's not hugging his body like Cavill's is. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Rhea, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are like, I dislike when two images are compared to one another that are so like contrasting in terms of context and environment, lighting, characterization, expressions. So I don't think this particular side by side is a fair comparison. But Voltaire, to answer your question though, I do think the suit loose sort of appearance might be. I kind of inferred this about from the very first poster that we saw too, a promotional image, that he kind of lost some buffness after losing some of his relevance as a hero, because now we have like these contracted Max Lord heroes. So yeah, I can think that I can kind of like put together in my mind that as he has to rise to the occasion again and pull out the suit, maybe he doesn't fill it out all the way because he hasn't used his powers in a minute. So,
and it's 100% on purpose, right? Like that's a creative choice,
right? To kind of give context around like, it's been a while since he's had to wear it.
Like, Skullman, I'm not timing you out or anything. Just keep it cool with that, because I don't want to get into that topic at all. If you're here to talk about entertainment stuff, I'm not bringing it up. I'm not bringing up that topic. But try to keep it on
the mic drop.
No. I'm just asking you, please, if you would talk about Superman or entertainment talk while you're here.
I don't want to talk about that topic with my face showing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yes, I understand.
We'd all love to talk about that topic, but this is not the show for it, everybody.
Yeah. No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. There's never mind. You're already getting me into never mind. Well, Ray, here's a great topic. I just saw this topic here. It's going to be about Star Wars and Kathy Kennedy.
Oh boy, we're on the anniversary of the last Jedi.
I implore you, get on the Mace Windu show or the Mace Windu project. This man is 76. He said he wants to come back. It's so plausible. Mace is a great character. We need Mace Windu back. And I wasn't going to talk about this, but I saw this. It's his birthday today. He's 76. If they're going to do that, they need to do it soon. And it's a slam dunk. Today is Samuel L. Jackson's 76th birthday. Samuel L. Jackson is a gem. He's been in nerd culture and really high art movies too. He's a very prolific actor. We need him as Mace. I'm tired of waiting. We can't wait till he's 80, right? We have to get this started now. Come on. We already brought back prequel characters. You know, I'm so down for this. Any thoughts on and thank you, Samuel L. Jackson, for all that you've given as movie fans. We love you. We hope you have many more birthdays. I hope you have the happiest one. But I'm with you. I actually need to get. He wore a Bring Mace Back shirt. He had a shirt that he wears. I need to get one too, for sure. Any thoughts on this? Well, we're thinking about Samuel L. Jackson and his birthday and Mace Windu, or maybe some other movies that you would recommend. What do you have to say about Mace and Samuel L. Jackson, Rhea? We need to happen now.
Yes, he's definitely one of my favorite Jedi. So Obi-Wan and then Mace Windu, definitely up there for me. So I would love to see, even if it has to be like de-aging technology, which is probably a given. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, there might be like, a place for an origin story, and it may require some, creative problem solving as far as like how to make him look more in character or time appropriate in like whatever place and time they want to put him. So yeah, I'm totally on board with it. I would love to see, I know that there's like supplemental material like comic books or novels that go into Mace's origin and things like that. I don't know if like they want to pull material from that or do something completely new, but I'm down for whatever. I just want to see him back on screen.
Sure. Voltaire, they're bringing up Star Wars Celebration. Right. Tokyo is happening next year.
So look.
Okay, go ahead.
Disney was smart and they hired me to run Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi would have been a buddy cop type thing with him and Mace Windu.
Oh.
All right. And what's going on with the two of them? I don't care. They've already destroyed the lore. So let's bring back Mace Windu. He's still alive. He survived that fall. Everybody loves Mace Windu. Everybody loves Ewan McGregor. These are two amazing actors associated with Star Wars. If you think about it, everybody, think about the actors associated with Star Wars that people love. Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Anakin now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Those three. Let's use them. Let's make some money. Let's create some stories, everybody. It's like, it's there. It's so easy. Like, just do it. But they won't.
They brought back Lando, which was great. I mean, that was the one thing I liked about Rise of Skywalker. I think they should have considered bringing him back earlier.
Sure.
But I really enjoyed that. I'm really hoping for.
But Lando is from a previous era, right? I'm talking about the prequel era. Obi-Wan, Mace.
Do you know how much this man wants to come back? He was bugging George Lucas. He was bugging George Lucas, so he says it's possible I'm still alive, right? He's like,
I love that he created the purple lightsaber because he just kept badgering George Lucas. I love that about him.
Okay, Skullman, calm down, please.
He definitely has some pull. Like, he is a fan favorite and he stays booked and busy, like even if he does like what I like to call red box exclusive movies or like straight to streaming or straight to video action thrillers and stuff. So like he definitely, makes time for a role. And the reason I say that is because he also has that extra leverage of being such an identifiable fan favorite where he can ask for a little bit more money, especially if there is a perspective, fan interest where, we're talking about it right now and it's been an ongoing fan demand as well over the years. So all that, to kind of, make the case to, give him what he's asking for so everyone can make money. So yeah, to Walter's point, I agree.
Okay, cool. All right, so I wanted to bring that up. I'm looking for. Let me see what's that actress's name? No, it's Stranger Things that she's in.
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby.
No. No, the girl with the ginger hair.
Oh yeah, the girl that's
Locke's daughter.
She's in talks to or rumored to be cast as Jean Grey, right?
Sadie Sink, Jean Grey. That's what I wanted to bring up. I'm trying to because I'm talking about. It seems like there's been a lot of talk about the X-Men We do know the success of Deadpool and Wolverine and X-Men 97. Thank you, Joe. He was watching Spirited, which I did enjoy. I will finish watching it, Joe. I enjoyed it more this time. Before I quit on it early on when the musical started, because I do like musicals, but it wasn't I wasn't vibing with it, but it was really funny. Okay, so
one thing I did want to mention, since Joe's in the chat, I really hope that after Max, the streaming service, decided to discontinue new episodes of Sesame Street, that Netflix or maybe even Disney, because Disney owns the Jim Henson Company, I think, or like they make a lot of properties under that company. So I really hope that something like that happens, where another streaming platform picks up.
Oh yeah, Sesame Street is so important to developing kids all around. I think it really gives good messages and everything. I don't know why they would stop that show. I don't know why. All right, I'm just chill out, come back and be cool. That's all. All right, so here's Sadie Sink, reportedly front runner to play Jean Grey in X-Men and the Avengers. I think that's awesome. I like Jean Grey as a character. I don't think the last versions were bad. They just weren't great. I actually really like X2, I even like X-Men 3, Last Stand. And then we had the Game of Thrones actress that's now the next Tomb Raider, which I'm really excited about. But I think this actress, what I've seen from her in Stranger Things, I think she's capable of more nuance, especially with Jean Grey's character. She could be conflicted on what's going on inside of her head. I think she's going to be able to elevate Jean Grey. And it seems like they may be going younger, They may be going younger with the X-Men cast, which is cool. I want that. Like, if they bring the X-Men into the MCU, I think this is high probability. I would put this above. I put 55%. I think that they're considering her for Jean Grey, if they are bringing Jean Grey into the X-Men when they bring the X-Men in. So I think she's an actress to get, especially Stranger Things is ending. Any thoughts on this actress or the X-Men or Jean Grey? You think this is a good fit, Rhea Voltaire? And then I have something to add to this, which has been consistently coming up. Okay, go ahead.
Jean Grey is such an important character, and I don't think they've done her correctly in the movies. I had hoped that the Game of Thrones the girl would have done it better. It just didn't work. So I'm open to trying something new, I guess. She's a very important character.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Rhea, about have you seen Stranger Things?
I haven't. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some, clips in passing, but I never sat down to watch the series. But anyway, this casting and her age, as someone made a really good point on X that I saw, that cast younger actors who can age along with the series and be around for a pretty long time. And I understand that to a point, but I do know that a lot of like the male actors get introduced into the series, like, at an older age, and they can still, be around for a good amount of time. But I know that there's like, an age bias between men and women, but yeah, that would be something that I can see would be a benefit based on the circumstances. She can, continue to be a forerunner in like a pillar in the series, if she's able to continue to be relevant and desirable to be in the role.
She can't be with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine because they have a romantic story. That would be kind of creepy.
Well, I think if by the time they bring in the young X-Men, if they go that route, that they'll probably be Hugh Jackman will be on his way out. Or there was also rumors that I've seen on X where in the multiverse, his version of Wolverine is going to teach the younger generation's Wolverine how to do it. Maybe they should just do X-23. I would just prefer they do an X-23 route, honestly. With the X, and that would be different from the origins of the X-Men, but why can't you change it?
I would love to see X-23. Like, she's amazing. The actress just became so, like, talented.
Daphne
And
Keane.
yeah,
Yeah.
she has great. You want to talk about screen presence? Yeah, like, she's had this, like, smoldering, eye-catching, not to, like, sound weird saying, like, a child
No, I know
has,
what you mean.
yeah, screen presence. The screen presence has just, escalated with her, in my opinion.
100%. She has amazing screen presence, and I agree with that. She's really good, but you can't replace Wolverine.
Okay. Yeah. Now this is a long rumored thing. If you're going to do something and change Magneto's origin slightly because you're not the longer the years tick up, we're going to be 2025 soon.
Denzel will never play this role.
You don't think so?
Why is
It's
that?
too small for him. It's too small.
I don't think so. I don't think so. He's really shown that what other movie was he in recent? Oh, actually he can't. He can't. I could debunk this right away. He cannot play Magneto because he is in Black Panther 3. Oh, wait, but they said he's a villain in Black Panther 3. They wouldn't put Magneto in Black Panther 3.
I think Denzel would do a comic book movie, but I could.
No, he definitely will. I debunked you in this room at the same time, Voltaire, because he would definitely do a comic book movie because he recently apologized to Ryan Coogler for telling people he was in Black Panther 3.
Yeah,
so,
and you know what? Sorry to interject, but I was always fan casting Giancarlo Esposito for Professor X, but he can't do that either because he's in Captain America: New World Order.
That's right. So, unless he is Magneto in Black Panther 3, which they did bring mutants in Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, Namor was a mutant. Would they do that? Would they introduce Magneto would that be the way to introduce Magneto into the MCU? Black Panther 3? Or I would think he would have to be a villain from Wakanda, right? Well, I guess Namor wasn't necessarily from,
No.
But I want to see Magneto, and I think you have to do something with me, like having him as a Holocaust survivor. Still, it's not going to make sense in 2025 if you're doing
you don't
current age.
necessarily need that, but it just. I can't imagine Denzel Washington doing a comic book movie. Maybe
He's already signed on, Voltaire. He's going to be.
He is signed on.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
He admitted. He said, "I apologize to Ryan Coogler for letting that out there. It wasn't an official announcement. He was talking about it."
That was so planned. Denzel is such a professional. He would not, do that, faux pas out of nowhere. So that's just my 2 cents. My inside scoop on my own opinion.
So right. he is in Wakanda, or he is in Black Panther 3, and they're actually starting to get that production together. But very unlikely he could play Magneto. Although I think he would do an amazing job if they switched it from the Holocaust to the Civil Rights Movement and things like that.
He couldn't do a Holocaust movie.
What's that?
He couldn't do a Holocaust movie.
Yeah. So
that wouldn't make sense, but clearly they backed the money truck up to his driveway and he's accepted. I'm stunned that he's doing a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I'm delighted at the same time.
Oh, come on, Zeno. I should time you out for that. No, he's very old.
He is old. But
no, but he's still
so good.
Still sharp.
Have you ever, Zeno? Have you ever seen something like Denzel?
No, he's sharp.
He's one of those actors. Like, I don't care what the movie is, the premise. You don't like it, you'll watch it because it's a Denzel movie. You know what I mean? He's got that kind of like clout with him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I am looking forward to Magneto. He's one villain that I don't really get tired of seeing, although it got to so many X-Men movies where I like Apocalypse because it was a different villain. They focus on Magneto too much. But if you're talking about introducing the X-Men, you got to have Magneto there at the start. Mm-hmm. Crazy Joe says, "Why is Voltaire stunned that Denzel Washington's going to do a Marvel flick? Heck, Harrison Ford now. Everyone's doing these movies." Yeah.
You're right. That's a fair point. I feel like Denzel is more a serious actor than Harrison Ford, personally. But, hey, the money truck pulls up into your driveway. You know what I mean? Anybody can be tempted,
Well, it's getting a little bit later. I don't want to keep you guys too late. I just realized we're an hour and a half. So I have one more quick topic. This is a spoiler warning for Creature Commandos up to episode 4. So just be warned if you don't want to be. Now, I didn't watch it yet, but I've seen this on X, so it's and you're okay with that, Voltaire. I think Ray has already seen it. But this is very interesting for the DC universe and James Gunn, what he's developing. And it's a character that I want to see. So you're everyone okay with being spoiler warning for Creature Commandos.
Spoiler warning, everybody, for Creature Commandos. Leave now if you don't want to be spoiled.
Yes,
Warning.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I didn't make a new disclaimer at the bottom, but here we go. So apparently, Creature Commandos showrunner Dean Lorey has confirmed that Wally West Flash is among the dead. I don't know the context of that scene. I think it's a nightmare sequence. Here is an episode 4 nightmare sequence, photos and details. So after whatever, I saw the Flash with Joe, Bruce, and Rhea. We had a lot of fun. I liked Ezra Miller as the Flash, but that was a big question mark. Is where's the Flash going to fit into this? Yeah. So you go with a different Flash, Wally West, which there's a lot of fans for, it's if there are clues, it's not another rumor, Zeno. It's actually in the Creature Commandos episode. So
we address all rumors, Zeno. Stop it.
It's not even a rumor. They show Wally West. They also show Wonder Woman. They show a lot of characters in there. Now, do they just show a nightmare sequence with characters that are now deceased that are never going to make an appearance in James Gunn's universe? I don't think so. I think that's giving a hint that they're going to be using these characters in the future, right?
Right, because this is a nightmare sequence. This is a potential if events continue on the trajectory they're on in the show. I don't think that's a spoiler, but it's implied, in the name.
And I would actually say this more because they used Wally to push even further back against you, Zeno. I would say this is even more likely that they're going to use this character, because if this nightmare sequence uses characters that they're not going to use in the future, why not just put Flash, Barry Allen's Flash, with Ezra Miller if you weren't going to use it? It's very significant that they put Wally West there, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where I would even push back farther against you. Is like if it wasn't significant for these characters, why would you put Wally West there and not just the Flash, generic Flash?
They want people to forget about Ezra Miller.
Yeah. Well, and I liked, but obviously Ezra's not coming back.
No.
But what do you think of my point there, Voltaire, Rhea, that it's significant that they put Wally instead of Barry? Like if it was just Barry, you'd be like, oh, I don't know if Barry's going to show up. But now that you put Wally in that nightmare sequence, you're like, oh, okay. This is a big clue as to where you're going. Do you think are you vibing with what I'm saying, Voltaire, Rhea? You think that's significant there that they used his character instead of Barry?
I always think of, if I was running things, what would I do? I wouldn't. I would have done it this way, 100%.
Yeah. Are you under the impression, Rhea, that this is a clue that there's some significance to putting Wally instead of Barry?
Yeah, because it's kind of it's in vogue with the additional characters that kind of create the DC universe being introduced in order to lead or potentially lead into the mainline folks, the Justice League folks. So yeah, I can imagine that this would be intentional, because it is kind of like building that universe in order to establish a need to have the Justice League, I would think.
Zeno responds, it's also concerning Max like spoiling the show before. Well, I was already spoiled on X, and I knew about this. I already knew about this nightmare sequence with Wonder Woman, just covering movie talk, but I didn't look far. I didn't look like under a microscope or a magnifying glass to see that Wally West is back there. So that's interesting.
So there you go, everybody. Max addressed a very harsh comment. We don't shy away from that on this show.
Well, it is getting later, and we have to prepare for a special interview tomorrow as well. So I don't know. You'll know when I set up the link for the live stream, so you'll see who me and Ray are interviewing tomorrow. Thank you, our special guest, for making the time to hang out with us, talk about some entertainment talk. Thank you,
Ray.
Voltaire, for always making the time on Friday nights. You know, I know you have a busy schedule, but I appreciate you making the time. I really enjoy this series.
We love
And
the mic drop.
thank you to the chat. And then if you haven't yet, go check out the new member benefit, where I could do a hot take single video on a topic. It could even be a reaction if you give me a timestamp. I don't want to be negative towards other YouTubers anymore, but I will critique other YouTubers if they have a hot take.
You will be negative against YouTubers if you
No, I will
propose
not.
it,
No, I'm
everybody.
past that. But if anyone
We literally
wants me,
spent like 30 minutes like tearing apart.
all right, okay.
We will
Egon
attack
Bash show.
I'm a
YouTubers,
hypocrite.
everybody. Just
Yes,
send us
Cal,
text.
thank you for reminding you. It's payday. I will mail you your book. Yes, thank you. I appreciate your
What book
reminding
is
me.
that? Have you read it?
RGT 85's The Art of Wrestling, about video
I
game
thought you
wrestling.
wrote a book
No, I didn't write a book.
called The Max Experience.
Okay. Voltaire, would you be so kind as to take us out?
Good night and good luck, everyone. Happy holidays.
Absolutely. See you, everyone.